you again, and so
Yeah,
happy to connect and do this together. Fun journey that we're on.
me too. Yeah, I really love these lives that we do because it's really raising my awareness of all of these events, and you can see it in the world as well, can't you? The events that are going on in the world. So
Yeah. It almost becomes like a really beautiful anchor for me, first to kind of prepare to allow this energy to flow through, but also to have this discussion, and then it's almost like it becomes embodied somehow. So I truly enjoy this, and I enjoy sharing with other people the beauty of the conversations that we're having. So thank you so much.
yeah, we'll see where this one goes.
Yeah, exactly. You never know what's going to happen. Yeah. So, but so today we're gathering to talk about the new moon that is actually happening in 2 days, right? On the 21st. And we were coming today because a lot of times it's easier to listen to people on Sundays, right? It's like we're relaxing and we're chilling and we can receive information. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, without a doubt. There's lots of going on, isn't there? The
Mm.
3 Eye Atlas.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually I heard earlier on that there's 6 comets
Mm.
in our solar system. at the moment.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
all of that energy and the meteor showers and
Yeah.
wow, what an
Yeah.
incredible
I know. It's almost like it's unheard of, right? You have to go back really far back in history to see six comets in our, I can't even say it, vicinity, and just kind of realize how far away they are. Like some comets have orbits of over 20,000 years. Some comets have orbits that we don't even know how far away they are. Like, for example, the 3A Atlas, it's billions and billions some people are even talking about the galaxy center, the sort of core of where things start. That's where it originates. So, for that to happen at the same time, it's the mathematical probability. Anyone who's taken any math, higher math, knows that this is crazy, right? It's insane how like all this is coming together at this point in time for our awareness and for our consciousness to be able to move upwards.
Yeah, and consciousness, raising that unified consciousness is a massive thing
Mm,
that this is pointing to, isn't it?
mm,
Or bringing us along with.
yeah, yeah, it's
But
gorgeous.
I watched something the other day, and where Atlas originates from, back in the 70s, there was a communication, some sort of broadcast from that actual location. And yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, I really fascinated.
Yeah, it's super fascinating. So let's backtrack just for a second because we've been talking about the first we talked about the eclipse season early on in September, and we knew that was a long string of eclipses. Now we've talking about the new moon energy today, but also we've talked about full moons in the past, a couple of weeks ago, and just how beautifully all this energy is coming together to kind of create a new start for humanity, right? It's sort of a new it's almost like you're standing on this sort of board and you're about to like dive into new water, right? It's sort of you're a little nervous. Like I feel a lot of nervous energy because and I wanted to go into that as well, how different signs are going to feel this because we have fixed signs, we have mutable signs, like we have all these, different signs in astrology, and we're all feeling this movement differently. But for myself, I'm a fixed sign. So this is a little nerve wracking, right? It's kind of like, oh, I'm excited about the change, but I'm also like, what's going to happen when I dive off this diving board into this new pool of energy, right? How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's trust has been a massive thing that's been coming up for me
Yeah.
recently, especially through the lunar eclipse season and all
Mm,
that, and just trusting that what's happening is for our own good. So yes, at times you're kind of there with kind of gripping on and wondering where this ride is going to take you, but then just to recenter yourself, and and all these practices that we've spoken about before, the meditations, the breath work, all of that
yeah.
is really, all of those tools are really just keeping us centered, aren't they? And not getting, because there's a lot of things going on in the world at the moment. So it's quite easy. We could quite easily get taken on a ride for that. So it's just remaining centered and in your own power.
Mm. Yeah, I love that. And kind of, so also what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing, what I'm feeling is that there are a few different things going on. There's the three eye atlas that we've been talking about. And actually, so if we go back to the new moon, on the new moon, on the 21st, the three eye atlas is going to be in a superior conjunction with us. So if we imagine like it's on the other side of the sun, and then we have the sun, and then we have the moon, and then we have us. It's kind of like a straight line, a superior conjunction, right? So that's a very powerful geometry. Like we're in a line of, and all those energies become emphasized in that, right? So it's, I imagine that we're going to hear more about it on Tuesday. Like we're going to find out more, and we're even now finding out a lot of beautiful things about it. We're finding out that it's changing in color, right? It's changing from, it was green and now it's more red. It has a material composition that we kind of don't know of in chemistry, right? It's very rare for it to have like nickel and carbon dioxide and the composition that it has. It's also behaving in a way that it's almost, science is almost confirming that it's intelligent, right? It's some kind of intelligence. It's not just a comment. So that is, there's some beauty in that in just in itself. We do.
As pure consciousness.
Mm,
And I just thought that was so beautiful, kind of
mm.
bringing that pure unified consciousness. All.
Yeah, absolutely. And all in the astrology as well, what I find is really beautiful is that Pluto is in a basically called a semi square to, what is it? I had a note. I'm so sorry. I gotta bring up. There's like too many things in my brain, so I have to find my notes. Yeah.
A
So
lot going on.
Pluto is in semi square to the north node, right? So what that means is the north node is kind of like our um, consciousness of us as a group, and Pluto talks about power, right? It's kind of like, where is your power? And we've been very very used to giving away our power. Like we've kind of been saying, oh, the governments can have my decision when it comes to certain things, or all these. So we've been giving our power away, and the question is now, are we going to continue to do it, or are we going to take back our power, right? So bringing back that power to us. And what also is really interesting about Pluto right now is that it's out of bounds. It's out of bounds to the south. And when that has happened traditionally, it means that it's power back to the people. So there's a beautiful invitation right now in conjunction with the Three Eye Atlas of bringing back our power to ourselves. And I find that really beautiful, along with what you just said about our consciousness, our awareness, and kind of um, stepping it up a little bit, I would say.
Yeah, and it all ties in with the moon, doesn't it? Because this is the new beginning now.
Yeah.
We choose how we move forward. Do we still keep giving our power away, or do we take our power back and say,
Right.
this is my new beginning, this is how I'm going to move forward?
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that we've been talking a lot about the planet Neptune, and Neptune is beautifully on the day of the new moon. It actually moves into 0 degrees, 0 minutes of Aries. And that's like a completely new beginning, right? That's the beginning of the zodiac. And it's kind of like, it's sort of asking, what are you going to make next?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your new
And
creation? Mm. Yeah.
so,
Yeah, so
yeah,
it's quite powerful.
yeah, it's that unknown that you were talking about, this
I
diving off the
know.
board because we haven't
Yes.
seen.
And it's
Yeah,
almost like it's almost like we're in this huge fog, right? And the only thing we can see is the next thing in front of us, and we see that thing and we're like, "Oh, great, a coffee mug," like I see this, and then we take a few more steps, and then we see something else. So it's almost like being blindfolded and moving into a completely new and different way of being, a new and different way of creating as well, I would say. And what I've also noticed lately is our ability to create is so fast now. It's used to take a long time to like focus your attention on something, co-create it with the universe, and then but now it's almost instantaneous. If I think about something, if you think about something, if we focus on something, it very quickly moves into, so it's almost like we have to be very mindful of what we think about and what we create.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of this with some of the creators that I follow on YouTube.
Mm,
There's and even my own content. I've created content and then I've spoken to someone and they're like, "Oh wow, I've just created that video as well." So there's real connection
yeah.
and
Mm,
so
yeah, for sure. And it's almost like there's this consciousness of of a lot of us, and we're feeling into different things, and then we speak to people, we create things with people, and then we realize, oh wow, this actually relates to a lot of other things that are going on, and it just sort of beautifully orchestrates. It's almost like we're allowed to see the larger picture a little bit more than we were before. It's like and I know I talked about the fog, and it's interesting because it's sort of dual. It's we're moving forward and we're seeing things right in front of us, but we're also allowed to see slightly of a larger picture. So it's sort of both at the same time, I feel like. And my kids joke about it sometimes when we're driving in fog. They're like, "Oh, somebody brought down the render distance," because that's what it's called on computer games, right? And so it's like more and
yeah.
more we're sort of allowed to see that we are in a computer game of sorts, but it has a different set of rules, and yeah, you see where I'm going with this. Mm,
Instead of we are that first person character, and we're the ones that
mm,
can kind of move through the computer game,
mm-hmm,
create as we see.
mm,
Uh, and it, as you said earlier, we have given our power away to governments and whoever else
mm,
in under the guise of us being kept safe. But
mm,
now we're all kind of waking up and realizing, hang on, I don't need anyone else to be safe. I can do.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, there's it's and before you and I came on, we had a little chat, and we've been feeling something very similar. And I'm sure people that are listening to this are feeling something similar too. There's kind of this invitation to go deeper within yourself, and it's hard to explain, but if you're feeling it, you know what we're talking about. It's sort of there's a deepening of going back in for trust, for love, for answers, for um, safety, right? So not kind of not looking outwards for those things, but sort of more deeply realizing that we have everything within us.
Where that's the goal, isn't it? From a consciousness level to get
Mhm,
to pure love. That
mhm.
is pure consciousness.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I say this more and more, but there's a deep suspicion that there is nothing else. That love is the only thing that exists. It's sort of the only thing, that source intelligence of love. That's the only thing that is here, and that's what everything is made out of. That's what everything is constructed from. And when we tap into that, we have that kind of direct line, right? When we tap into that, that's when we truly can start to see all those things again, if that makes any sense, or feel into it. I think you're a little frozen now, Roy, so I'll keep on talking. But so what,
Yeah.
are you
Yeah.
still there? Yeah. Oh, you are? Okay. So you talked, but it was yeah. So we lost you for a second. All in divine timing.
No, go on. What I was going to say, I got stressed because I was like, ah, my
Yeah.
camera's off.
Wonderful. Yeah, so really what I'm thinking about is that there is something happening now this fall. It's really beautiful, and we are really deeply asked to sense into that. And I feel like what we're seeing in the trajectory of the 3A atlas, and we've talked about it before, how it then come closest to the earth, very close to the winter Capricorn solstice, which is on the 21st of December. I believe it's coming by on the 19th. So that's it's there's a question, and the question kind of goes like this: like, where is your consciousness level now, right?
Yeah, it's I feel there's lots of glimpses for me at the moment with
Mm,
consciousness, almost on a daily, like almost daily. I'm getting these little glimpses of this, the way that I have been living my life and the way that I can live my life.
mm.
And yeah, it's really exciting actually.
It is, and just randomly, when I was getting dressed to do this live, I took on things that were very springy, like almost springtime. And then I realized, but wait a minute, it's because this is springtime for us. This is kind of a new beginning. It's where things start to bloom. It's where things come alive. It's where we get to kind of bloom again. And I was like, wow, so there's no coincidences in anything. you know?
Oh,
Even the way we
yeah, that's really,
Yeah, so it's really amazing. Hello, everyone that's joining us. It's so happy to have you here. So happy that you're listening in, and if you have any questions, any thoughts, any energetic feelings that you're tuning into or tapping into at this time, feel free to share, and we'll try to interact as best as possible with that question or thought. Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so we've kind of skipped over the new moon, I think. We've
We can go back to it.
uh, yeah,
Hmm.
um, yeah. There's lots of, we mentioned earlier about the comets and the meteor shower, which I believe is tonight, and then we've got this new moon as well. So
Hmm.
yeah, there's celestial show going on at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah, there is, for sure, for sure. And just the beauty of everything that's happening, astrologically speaking and astronomically speaking as well. There's just so many things going on. It's like there's a lot to mention. What I'm also what I'm also sort of you know tuning into, or how we can talk about it, is this: it's almost like there's a void, right? We've been talking about it in many different ways, but there's almost like there's this void asking us to figure out where to go next. You know, untapped territory, darkness, fertile ground for shooting into something new. And that void can be a little bit like discombobulating. Like, how have you experienced that?
Um, yeah, there's been a lot that's come up.
Mm,
Um, so I've been sitting with a lot of stuff, and I'm finding I'm having to do really big kind of letting go of things that, there's still certain things, but I'm kind of getting closer and closer to how these, certain things in life run your life.
hmm.
So yeah, there's a big. I really feel that there's on the cusp of like really getting to the bottom of some things. So
Mm. I love that because there's a sense of excitement, right? There's a sense of it's there's anxiety, nervousness, and then there's also excitement. And I feel the same way. It's almost like you kind of know something is gonna happen soon, right? You know that
Yeah,
you're diving in soon, and you know that you're gonna start swimming in this soup soon. Uh, and you're resolving the old things as you're kind of heading into that new ground. So I find that very beautiful. And also, what I really want to emphasize, for everyone is that there's one thing to listen to people like Pam Gregory, like other astrologers, like Stefan Burns, the geophysicists, and other people, and just be like, okay, these things sound really amazing. But what I would like to mention is that, like, how does it feel for you? When you
yeah,
tune into it, how does it feel for you? And for me, it's felt like I've been annoyed, I've been sad, I've been angry, I've been having a hard time settling my system, and and that happens, for a while, and then all of a sudden there's this break, and then there's ease and beauty and love, and I tap into like a depth that I maybe haven't really felt before in my life. And then there's another spike of like anger, discontent, something happens, and I'm just like, what the, why is this happening right now? Like, I'm trying to tune into these energies of love, right? So I feel like there's kind of this roller coaster, and it can be throughout the same day, a lot of things happening same day. And so it's almost like the higher you go on that, like, annoyance, and then there's the depth of the peace, right? Are you said that,
yeah.
is that ringing a bell?
I've definitely had one of those days this week. I felt really, really dysregulated
Mm,
and just wondering. I'm I get so I was in the office and there were lots of people around, which kind of dysregulated me anyway.
yeah.
And I thought to myself, why am I still dealing with this? I've been dealing with this for years.
Mm,
And then I made peace with it. I got home, made peace with it, and just thought, I always say to myself, tomorrow's another day.
yeah.
And the following day was incredible.
Yeah.
I was in a like energetically in an amazing place, and um, so yeah, that roller coaster. But being aware of these, because life can drag us along a lot of the time, can't it? And
Yeah.
we if we go with it, then we can end up in a hole. But just being aware that this is the flow of life and not holding on to those low moments or whatever is just really it's just really valuable, and you get much more out of those high days. So
Mhm. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And I guess what I'm trying to get at here is sometimes it's good to hear from other people what it actually feels like on a daily basis. Like, so, and there's a lot of things that happen in that. One, there's a community of like, okay, we're going through this together. And two, there's this, it's a good sensation to feel like, okay, I'm not going crazy, right? Like, this is actually happening. It's happening to a lot of people, and this is what it feels like it's not just strawberries and butterflies and fluffy clouds. It actually, there's a lot of the other stuff as well. So it's just important to be aware that that's what's happening.
yeah, without you are kind of poking the bear a lot of the time, aren't you?
Yeah,
Just to
you
kind of
are.
work through that.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
And it,
totally. Yeah, it can, it can. And then what's interesting, what I find too, is that so I have one of those days, and then maybe later that day or the day after, I read something about the Schumann resonance or energies, or and I'm like, oh, that explains my day yesterday. It's almost like you get a confirmation of, this is actually what's happening to me at this point in time, and this is what's happening to everyone right now.
yeah, that's those high days are the days where you get those realizations and kind of connect the dots, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. and then you're ready to dive down into
And then it
into
goes, the whole
those.
process goes over again.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, so it's super interesting, and I think, but the most important thing that we can do is allow those things to happen, feel completely normal that this is happening to us, and just enjoy the ride. I think this fall, and we've spoken about that before, it's going to be chaotic. We know that it's going to be chaotic both on the outside and on the inside, because the energies are prompting us to grow, their energies are prompting us to let go of the old, to step into the new. So there's kind of this constant back and forth between old new, right? And then what I see is going to happen in next year is there will be a completely different feeling of energy. There'll be kind of the planets are moving into a completely different space. They're moving into new signs, and we'll have a completely uh, how should I say, more push behind the new, and less of the old.
Yeah, it is kind of like a fork in the road. I see it as at the moment,
Mm,
where we're being called to choose which path we're taking.
mm, hmm. And that's the first wave, and then there'll be many waves behind it, in my opinion. And yeah, so we're basically forging new roads, new pathways, new understandings of how we can live, and how we can interact with each other, how we can be as human beings, how we can relate to our world, essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I love that. And
Mm,
yeah, you talked about the external. I watched a video toward like at the beginning of the month, which kind of explained all these events that are going on, and
mm,
they were talking about how there'd be a lot of seismic activity and extreme weather and all these kind of things, and we're actually seeing that in the world. So
mhm. Yeah.
it just gives you
Yeah.
that confirmation
Yeah, yeah,
that this,
for sure. Yeah.
yeah,
So there'll be earthquakes on the outside and earthquakes on the inside, right? It's
yeah,
uh it's just I don't think we've used this analogy before, but you and I are both from the construction industry. So we know it gets really messy when you have to tear something down. And we're tearing something old down in order to build something new. And both of those processes are quite messy. They create a lot of noise. They create a lot of dust, and it's as you're going through the process, it looks like nothing is ready, like everything is a mess, like you're working on the plumbing and the electricity and you're doing the studs. It's like drywall is going up, like it's crazy, right? And then all of a sudden you start to look, you're like, oh wait, this looks starts to look like an apartment, right? Oh look, there's a kitchen in here, right? Oh, they installed the toilet, wow, that's really awesome. And each week you come back for that site visit, you start to see that there's progress, and eventually there's a completely new house there, a completely new, and but in the process, it didn't seem like anything. It was just a big old mess. Yeah.
again, allowing the process to go and just being patient with yourself, isn't it?
Yeah. And knowing that, like, I'll gonna continue with this analogy, knowing that the electricity has to go into the wall before you put up the drywall, because like if you're doing it in the wrong order, it's not going to be fun to open it up again. So it's kind of like trusting the process of everything coming together. And in the construction, it's like all the trades coming together. I feel like right now it's like all the energies coming together, and you allowing yourself to release things as you step into new things, as you're forming new futures, and kind of being okay. And this is where I have trouble being okay with that mess in the meantime, right?
Yeah,
Because I would love to be like, oh, oh, out with that and like into the new apartment, it's done now, right? It's like I'm comfortable here, but it doesn't work that way. I have to go through the process of like, okay, I want the outlet here, I want the kitchen over there, and nothing is done, and maybe I'm not even ready to let go of like the old kitchen that I used to have in there. It's like, oh, I liked it. I like the color, and now there's a new kitchen coming in, and I'm like, I don't know, right?
I love it.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's how it feels like for me on a day-to-day basis. Like I'm ready and I'm not. I'm ready and I'm not. And I'm watching this thing going on, and I'm like at the same time annoyed at the dust and the noise and everything. So just putting that out there.
No, I really love that. That's such a good analogy,
Mm.
and it's very relatable as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Especially for the you and me, because
Yeah,
we're project manager, architect, in that kind of, space. So we know what it takes. We know, and also we know that it can be very frustrating at times. Like I deal with a lot of, you know, people, and they want their house to be done faster, and they're running out of money, maybe they're running out of time, and they're like, I need to move into my house. And so there are moments of frustrations when we're building something new, when we're creating a new project, and there's just no way around it, because it's not going to go the way we expect it to. It's like the plumber's going to be on vacation, and we're just going to be like, okay, why is this happening to me, right? Or they ran out of the material that we need, and now we can't build the wall. So I know I'm taking this like too far, but you know what I'm
no, yeah, but there are all those unseen things, and it is a real dance trying to get all of it to
Yeah,
go together, isn't it?
yeah.
And I also see, I think we've spoken about this before. When you're managing a project, you
Mm.
have to kind of control that process, otherwise it'll go off in all directions.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
perhaps differently to that kind of thing, we have to relinquish that control, don't we? And just allow the process to
Yeah,
to take care of itself.
right. So the project manager has to sit in the back seat.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do, huh? You know?
terrifying. It's
Yeah,
pretty
it's
terrifying.
terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. And it's like, so where are we going to go now if like nobody's doing this correctly? How are all the things going to come together? Like what's happening, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I okay, so what does relinquishing of control mean? Because to anyone who's read about ego deaths, right? It sounds like a beautiful thing. Oh, wow, I get to leave my ego behind, and then I get to be this beautiful self-realized person, right? And I was explaining it to someone the other day, and I was saying that when part of your ego dies, it feels like you're falling through an empty space, and your mind is trying to claw at everything, but there's nothing because there's just this empty space. But you're trying to figure out ways to like how to make decisions, how to hang your hat on something. And it's just so hard to not grasp, right? The mind still wants to hold on to something.
Yeah, and that's how we've lived all our lives, isn't it? We're used to that kind of system.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Grown up with.
Yeah. And what comes to mind is coming back into a more childlike version of ourselves. I think that's what's being asked of. Like we were talking about Neptune being in 0 degrees, 0 minutes of Aries. And it's kind of like coming back to that kid again. That kid who is like, wow, this is really cool. Like, I get to try this now. Or I get to have this conversation. Or this is really awesome. Like, this ice cream is flavor is fantastic, right? So, coming back into that space of like imagination, not knowing, allowing ourselves to be sensitive, allowing ourselves to be raw.
Yeah, just that curiosity, isn't it? Just kind of playing with things, and if something comes up that's unexpected, just kind of thinking, oh, okay, we'll
Mm,
see where this leads.
yeah. Wow. Yeah. Really cool. Yeah, it's very very exciting. I like it a lot. I think there's going to be a really interesting fall, really fun, and yeah. we're gonna love it.
Yeah, love it. Perhaps not in the moment sometimes, but we are going to learn to love it, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
And really see the benefit of just allowing things.
Mm. Beautiful.
It's an exciting time, yeah.
It is. Do you have any final thoughts, Roy?
Um, so I just love kind of there's a lot going on in the world at the moment, and I really feel like, especially here in the UK, people are kind of pulling together. You know
Mm.
that I think we've been separated and kind of competing against each other for so long, and I just see this collaboration. It's just going to be so
Nice.
beautiful.
Yeah. That's amazing. So we'll, as children, we'll join hands and create something absolutely beautiful. And the new moon might be the stamp off
Yeah,
point for that. So that's really great. All right.
yeah.
Yeah.
New beginning, letting go of the old things.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks for chatting.
Thank you. It's been lovely speaking to you.
Take care.
Have a great evening. Bye,
You
Marie.
too. Bye.